up, buddy?
What up, Coach?
What you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, I just wanted to say goodnight.
Okay. I love that, bro. What's going on? Y'all good?
Hell yeah. You know what I mean? I just feel like, as player to coach, just checking in on you, mental, say goodnight. Hope fans well. See you Monday. Excited about next week. Just a good night.
Well, good, man. Well, hey, look, I know this is weird for everybody, man, but look, you're handling everything the right way, bro. And this thing's going to get worked out. And, again, I'm thrilled to see where we take this thing, man. We're building something special, and you're going to be a huge part of it, bro.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Okay, let me just break down to you, Stephen A., what just happened. So this is a quick take. So there's this trend going on. By the way, here's him working out with Diggs. There's this trend going on TikTok where guys call each other to say goodnight. And the fact that your social team didn't think it is so cute and so hysterical. So he's calling Brian Schottenheimer doing the TikTok thing to say goodnight, and he's staring at the camera because Schotty's taking it seriously.
Right.
And he's like, I got you, showing him love. And Mike is just trying to keep a straight face.
Yeah, because he doesn't know what the coach doesn't know what the players do.
But it just shows what a good guy the coach is.
My social media team don't do that because they know I don't play that mess. Don't be surprised at me.
No, you should call someone and say goodnight. It would be so hilarious.
On TikTok?
Yeah, or on Instagram.
I would say it would be you, but you would never answer. So
absolutely not. It's on Do Not Disturb once it hits a certain time. It's for mental health. We have to set boundaries. It's not 6 o'clock.
Right.
Okay, let's go to the NBA. On ESPN.com.
For our two co-favorites, they share this. One of them is Aiden Hutchinson, who I will always believe if he hadn't gotten hurt last year, Detroit would have been in the Super Bowl, and we'll see what winds up happening. Doesn't matter now. And Dak Prescott. And that, to me, is the interesting one. Peter Schrager going over the history of his time in Dallas. And Dak, because he has the star on his helmet, he is dissected, and on this show as much as any place, he is dissected probably in a different way than practically any other quarterback, to the point that I think sometimes we understate how good he is. The return of Dak Prescott, A, put him right in the comeback player of the year conversation. B, to me, put the Cowboys directly back in the playoffs.
And with the star on his helmet and with the price tag of Dak Prescott, the bar has to be so high this season. And that is the standard. So to me, comeback player of the year, yes, he's coming back from an injury, but if they go 10-7 or 9-8, they're not going to give him that award, and they're certainly not going to give him MVP. Dak Prescott, to me, needs to go like 14-3 for the voters to be like, well, he came back from the injury and then did that. I think we all expect Dak Prescott to be back because of what he makes and because of his career already. I would look less at Aiden Hutchinson or Dak Prescott. I would look at the guys that come out of nowhere and have the big bounce back season like Joe Flacco had 2 years ago or Sam Darnold had a year ago. I believe Daniel Jones is more of a comeback player of the year candidate than Dak Prescott, who, although it is a real injury, we've seen lots of players come back from that injury. It would have to be this monstrous statistical season. I don't know if that's what it is.
Can I say this? Because you said that yesterday as well, and I spent some time thinking about it, and I understand your rationale because that is how they handle the award. But what is he coming back from?
Irrelevance.
He's coming back from getting benched for being healthy, right? He was benched to make sure he didn't get hurt, and now he's coming back from not being hurt with the Giants. Dak Prescott is coming back from a season-ending surgery. I understand what you're saying.
Of that award is, let's have it make it be then the comeback player from injury award.
We need something
because comeback player is Daniel Jones being discarded, third quarterback in Minnesota, then leading the Colts to the play. That's what I'm looking for.
I agree with it. I'm not disagreeing.
A lot of guys come back from injuries.
I don't know if that qualifies.
That said, Dak Prescott, the words on the screen are scorched earth. That might be strong. I used that term about Aaron Rodgers when he said, look how well that worked out for the Jets. but he doesn't have to go scorched earth. He just has to be what he has been in his career, and this team's a playoff team.
Yeah, I think there's a nuance here. I think both things can be true, Greedy. I think he's going to play well. I don't think he'll be the comeback player of the year because I think what we know with Brian, when he's not Greek dancing, he's trying to run the ball. And they're going to be very balanced in offense. That's really his DNA going back to his dad. That's when we've had the most success together. I think he's going to be a really good coach. I think they're going to be a little bit more conservative, and I think you're going to see 20 rushing attempts, 20 passing attempts.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb on the outside because you want to run the ball all the time?
Totally fair, Greedy. They'll be point scorers. I think Pickens is going to have a massive year. When you acquire, especially a wide receiver in the last year of his deal, he'll play well. But I just think fundamentally, their defense is still very much a work in progress. Running the ball keeps that vulnerability on the sideline.
But you don't think Marty Ball 2.0 can evolve a little bit and kind of add a little nuance to it? I think you have to take advantage, not only just the two guys on the outside. Ferguson is a matchup nightmare. And you talk about being able to run the football. That's going to set up all these big explosive plays that I think Dak won't be able to resist. The last time, Dak was healthy, he threw for 4,500 yards. And that was under McCarthy. I understand they didn't run the ball. But in some of these games, there's going to be another team that they're playing that's going to put up points, and he's going to have to throw the ball as well.
Quickly, can I just ask you, because you worked with Brian Schottenheimer.
Look at that right there, 37.
This is what you're looking at, is the last time he had a season end due to injury, which was 2020. Remember, he had that horrible injury in the open field. The next year, he threw for 4,500 yards, which were more than Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers, who was the MVP that year, and he threw for 37 touchdowns, more than Joe Burrow, who led his team to the Super Bowl that year. So Dak, in bouncing back, has gone on the attack and not been whack. And it's pretty much all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's good. But can I ask you, so Shoddy, is he going to rein him in because, hey, this is my football? Or is Shoddy one of these guys who can adapt and say, oh, we've got these two guys on the outside, we've got Dak Prescott who could throw for 5,000 yards?
Yeah, there's no question about it. I could see run, play action, deep shot.
Run with what, though?
Well, I mean, look, Javonte Williams, we'll see if he's a comeback player of the year.
To me, it should be pass, run with that roster.
No. Run, pass.
What?
You have to listen. Sometimes it's not about the yards you get from running. Rex, you say it all the time. It's about the attempts. You got to put body blows. You got to protect that.
So then maybe that coach doesn't fit that roster to me.
You have to protect that defense first by running the football, and everything else will open like a beautiful flower.
But I think the question. All right, that was unexpected.
It's fair.
The question Peter's asking is a good one. Does he have the roster to do that?
Yeah, no,
they haven't built to that.
They have an offensive line of all second and third year guys, and they have a bunch of guys who haven't done much through the NFL and running back. Why would you do that? Why would that be the strength?
Here's the thing, and this is why it would be a strength, because on the outside you have two guys that's going to make you have two high safeties, which is going to make a light box, which is going to invite you to run the football because you're going to have the numbers advantage.
Here's what it's about. It is about the stars getting it done when they need it. And sometimes they don't. With that, let me get back to the hockey, because the Panthers, as we show, Bartholomew has some bold takes, and that's a great picture, by the way.
Bold time right there.
Give me a bold statement about the Washington Commanders.
Oh, man, I tell you what, Greeny, the Washington Commanders has the best quarterback in the NFC East and possibly in the league. I think he's going to be the NFL MVP.
Wow.
And I think he's just getting warmed up. He's going to be dynamic. The closest thing to Lamar Jackson since Lamar Jackson.
I love the take. I could easily see it happen. I am fascinated to watch his second year. Let's stay in the division. Give me a bold statement about the Cowboys.
But you talk about them Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Marty Schottenheimer, I think we're going to have some Marty Ball 2.0 with his son, Brian. I think they're going to go to the playoffs and surprise a lot of people. A lot of times they always underwhelm when they have high expectations. No expectations this year. I think you should pick them. I might boost that bet.
We are 2 for 2. I am with you on both of those. Let's check the last one. How about Jim Harbaugh's LA Chargers? What do you got on them?
I tell you what a division with 4 Hall of Fame coaches. And I think that right now, I think that Jim Harbaugh is building a bully, much like he did in San Francisco. I think we're looking at Philadelphia West right here. You talk about Mekhi Becton, you talk about Joe Alt on the outside, Slater. I think they're going to have one of the most dynamic offensive lines. They're going to run the ball. I think they're better. They're going to be a better version of the Philadelphia Eagles because they have the better quarterback.
In Justin Herbert. See, that's a really interesting take. You know what's fascinating is last week, I forget who it was, someone will remember it, someone was predicting that this is the year that Kansas City gets bumped off in the division, and I assumed they were going to say Chargers, and they said Denver is going to win it. So all of a sudden, listen, one of the reasons, Mike T, cover your ears, one of the reasons that Tom Brady won as many championships as he did was because he dominated generally bad divisions for almost 2 decades in the AFC East. I apologize, Mike, because you were the GM of 2 of those teams, but between the Jets and the Dolphins and the Bills, who were bad for a lot of those years. Mahomes has been able to do the same thing. He's had the luxury of a bad division. You bank wins. You get home playoff games. That right now might be the best division in the entire league.
And yet I've been hearing the same thing about the Chargers since they were in San Diego, Los Angeles.
But they got the right coach this time, Peter.
Sure. Guess what? They had the right coach